Hi everyone, it's that time of the month where I tell you about my monthly earnings for stock photography and stock videography. First up with the video, I'll tell you what I've been up to for the month of August, and then after that I'll go into my sales and best sellers for that month in regards to photos and video sales. So let's get started. So if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I've suffered some injuries in the last few months. I had a carpal tunnel syndrome, which was related to a shoulder injury, and that eventually cleared up after a couple of months, and I've been able to work a mouse since then. But as soon as that cleared up, I got a knee injury and it swelled up like a balloon, and I couldn't walk for about 2 weeks, and after 8 weeks it finally recovered. I'm now able to walk for short distances of 1 or 2 kilometers, and so that's a light at the end of the tunnel. So I can now upload videos and photos because of the shoulder, and I can also walk to places in order to make those photos and videos. Unfortunately, when I was in Limburg previously in early August, I was riding an electric kind of chopper, and for some reason the way I was sitting on that did something to my back, and the night that we were meant to come home from Limburg, my back went into spasm and I couldn't move because of the pain. After a day, the pain went away with some heavy painkillers, and the back has been okay. But I think it was related to me having to use crutches and not walking regularly, and it did something to the muscles in my back and the alignment of my spine being pulled in different directions. I had that spasming one other time, but luckily it seems to have disappeared, and so that makes 3 counts now of bad luck in regards to my body and injuries. So I'm hoping that's the end of it, and that I now have the way forward to be more productive with stock photography and footage creation and book covers and just making more videos as well. So fingers crossed that works out. While I was laid up, for some strange reason I had the bright idea to start writing a book as well. I just got this inspirational idea, and I spent an afternoon writing the introduction pages to this book, and for some reason this thing seemed to write itself. So after about 4 months, I've now finished the first draft of this book. I tried publishing a book about 20 years ago. I spent 7 years writing a book, and then after the 3rd or 4th revision, I sent it to a bunch of agents and publishers, and I think 12 of them looked at it and every single one of them rejected it. So I was a bit hesitant to start writing another book, but this one just came really easily to me, and I'm happy to say that the first draft is finished, and I think the editing process is going to be very straightforward. So if the thing ever gets published, I'll tell you more about that in upcoming episodes. Okay, let's get into stock photography sales for the month of August now. And one of the big surprises of August was EyeEm. This agency has been going gradually down in regards to sales over the last year or two. But I was surprised by one sale that sold for, or one photo that sold for $10.48. And it was a photo of some citrus fruit that I had sliced thinly and put on a well-lit background and photographed it over the top. And that is a nice food concept photo. So I was really happy to see that. With EyeEm, I've got about 498 images. They're all commercial style photos without any people in them. So it's just objects and things. About 150 of those are distributed to partner agencies. And the commercial sale of the fruit was sold by Getty EyeStock, or EyeStock Getty. And it was a nice surprise because it wasn't the usual mustard pot or hard drive stack that I usually sell on EyeEm. So fingers crossed EyeEm will be picking up in the future. And EyeEm earned me a total of $14 in August. Okay, one of the neighbours kindly introduced the noise of a power drill into the video, so I thought it was a wise idea to come inside. Okay, onto the smaller agencies, and that is Dreamstime 123RF, Big Stock, Deposit Photos, and Can Stock. And I also had a slightly better month with these guys. With Dreamstime, my portfolio is 2,300 images. With 123RF, it's 2,400 images. And with Big Stock, it's 1,700 images. Deposit Photos I started earlier, and that portfolio consists of 1,900 images. I very rarely sell videos on these agencies, if ever. And I only have a small number of videos because I don't particularly feel like investing the time and effort for no return. Okay, with Dreamstime I had a couple of highlights. One was a really surprising one. In the Netherlands there's been a real kerfuffle in environmental laws that have been passed by the parliament targeting farmers specifically. And the farmers have really fought back against these proposed regulations. And a couple of years ago, I went to a major protest in the city of The Hague and took a bunch of photos and videos with my camera and my phone. And one of these photos sold for $5.47 as an editorial image on Dreamstime. I think it was a picture of a farm tractor, a placard on the front saying "No farmers, no food," and in the background was a fairly blown out, highlights-wise, skyline of The Hague. It wasn't my best photo, but obviously it delivered a very clear message with the farmers and The Hague being the seat of government. So I was happy about that sale. Another sale I was really happy about was another food concept photo. I made a video about this where I went to the supermarket and bought a bunch of different foods and brought them home and photographed them. You can look in my video archive on the channel to see that one. It's about food photography. And the photo sold for $1.98 as a commercial photo, and it was of these multicolored heritage carrots of yellow, purple and orange carrots. So that was a satisfying sale as well. All up for Dreamstime I made $8.85. And for the rest of the agencies, they didn't really make much more than $1.80. So in total for all those small agencies, I made $13.50. Big Stock now, and the disappointment for that agency continues. I haven't sold a video since May of this year, and that was only for $3 something. And for August, I didn't make a single sale with Big Stock, which is really disappointing me at the moment. And I think a lot of you guys are having mixed results with them as well because of they've been bought out by Shutterstock and maybe various other things going on. With Getty EyeStock, I had a marginal improvement compared to the previous months of this year. My portfolio consists of 1400 images and 65 videos, and I had 20 downloads in August. There weren't really any photo highlights. Most of the sales were quite small amounts. I did sell one video of the gannet trapped in plastic on the beach, and that was sold for $15. In total for iStock Getty, I made $24.24. Now with Wirestock, I spent a lot of time uploading exclusively photos and videos to Wirestock for a couple of weeks of August, just as an experiment to see what would happen. And I know with Wirestock, the assets that you upload take a long time before they get into the system and become recognized through the different agencies that Wirestock distributes these assets to. So despite spending a couple of weeks and uploading about 40 photos and maybe half a dozen videos, still no results with Wirestock. I didn't make any sales for the month of August with that agency. And now to Adobe Stock, another marginal increase compared to the previous months. I have 1100 images uploaded to Adobe. Most of them were commercial until I got accepted for uploading editorial photos as well. I have 43 videos on that agency, which is not much. So if you look at my portfolios, the maximum amount of images I have is about 2300 on some of the agencies, i.e. Dreamstime. So my portfolio is very small for photos and very, very small for videos. I think the most amount of videos I have on one agency is Shutterstock, and that's 140 something videos. So my portfolio is quite small across the board. With Adobe Stock, there were a couple of highlights. One of them was that I sold 3 photos of the same subject, and that subject was of a Tesla electric car charging at a plug-in charge point. And I spent a little bit extra time to remove all the logos in the photo and all identifiable text, so that it was just a car charging at a plug-in station. And I sold 2 vertical portrait photos of that car charging for 99 cents. And I also sold a horizontal or landscape photo for $1.20. So it just goes to show that if you have a compelling composition in front of you, it's always worth taking both landscape and portraits of that. And in this case, I sold 3 photos, one after the other, of the same subject, just by changing the composition style. Another highlight was more food photography, and this time I bought a whole bunch of sweet peppers, very colourful fruit, which were green, yellow and red if memory serves me correctly. And I put them on a nice multicoloured cutting board of different timbers. I think I bought the board from Tasmania, or my mum gave it to me as a present. And it's got all of these rare kinds of timber or wood on it. So it makes for a really nice warm background. And I sold this photo for $3.30 as a commercial image. So the food photography pics are working out for me so far in August. Okay, now my most disappointing agency for the month of August, except for Pond 5, and that is Shutterstock this month. For Shutterstock, I have 2,370 images in my portfolio and 148 videos. For August, I had 42 downloads. The biggest highlight for Shutterstock for the month of August was a video I sold, a commercial video of a hailstorm. And I looked out the window one day and I just saw this hail coming down. So I quickly ran outside with my phone, my iPhone SE 2020. And I tried to think about where I could make a composition to make the most of this natural event. So I basically lined up on a piece of plastic outdoor furniture because it was showing the hailstones bouncing off it really clearly, and the white was contrasting with the dark green. I took a close-up of the hailstones bouncing off that. I think it was only a 15-second clip where I didn't move the camera. It just showed a static shot of the hail falling, and that sold for $15.80 as a commercial video. A low light regarding video for August was I sold a video of the gannet trapped in plastic on the beach for 25 cents, so that was disappointing. With photo sales, there was nothing really special for Shutterstock in August. I sold one photo of some pink and red tulip flowers, a close-up, and that sold for $1.09. And the rest of the sales were just really small sub $1 subs or subscription sales. In total for August, I only made $29.09 for Shutterstock. Okay, now on to my most successful agency for August, and that is Alamy. And with Alamy, I have a bit over 2,200 images now, and no videos. The images are a mixture of editorial and commercial content. I think historically, I've most sold editorial photos on this agency, and the sales were to like news agencies, magazines, and even a television program in the UK. Anyway, I made 2 sales for Alamy in August, and one sale was for $37.40, and that was fairly early in the month. Was an editorial royalty-free photo, and that sold on the first day of August, and it was sold for media, website, app and social media usage. And it was a photo of that same farmer's tractor that I photographed with the placard on it saying "No farmers, no food." Yeah, no farmers, no food. And that sold for $37.40. So I was really pleased with that. The farm strikes and protests seem to be doing well for me because I think it has European-wide impact and maybe a global impact to limit the amount of nitrogen that's released into the atmosphere. So it'll probably impact other countries around the world too. And I thought that was it for Alamy. I didn't get a sale for the rest of the month until I was doing some research for this video, and I checked Alamy again, and on the very last day of August, 31st of August, I sold another photo, and that was an editorial royalty-free one as well. But this one was when I was in Sardinia, and I was in an old mountain town up in the highlands, and I saw these Sardinian men gather to talk in the town square, and they were older gentlemen, and I thought that Sardinia has one of the records for people living the longest in the world. I think also some Greek islanders have this honour, as well as Japanese islanders, I think. So I thought that might be a good concept photo. It's an editorial photo because it has people in it. and I sold that for $16.17, and that was worldwide usage to the to a Australian media group, which I think owns some newspapers and even TV stations. So they're probably doing a story on healthy diet and how that makes you live longer or something. So all up for Alamy in August, I made $53.57, which was pretty much a relief, because if I hadn't had those two sales for Alamy, my month for August would have been very mediocre. Okay, so let's talk about how much I made in total for the month of August with stock photos and videos. If you like this video, give it a like, or if it's helpful to you at all, please give it a like, and that will help my channel to continue to make a bit of money to offset some of the costs of doing stock photography and running a YouTube video channel. I know for the software and for editing these videos and just the music rights alone, I'm not even breaking even at the moment. I'm well in the red to bring these videos to you. So if you can give this video a like, that would be much appreciated. Okay, without further ado, I made for the month of August for stock photography and stock videography $155.37. It's a bit better than the previous months. I know it was better than the last month, so I'm not totally disheartened by this. I was hoping my sales rates would be going up, but in all honesty, with these injuries I've been suffering and these setbacks, I'm not surprised, because my upload rate has also been plateauing. So what am I looking for to upload in the next month or so? Well, bearing in mind that the cycle for purchasing stock content usually runs 3 months ahead. So we're looking at September now, October, November, December. Yeah, it's that time of the year. Even though I'm a bit late, I would have preferred to have started uploading these assets regarding Christmas earlier in August, but I think early September, it's still enough time to get some Christmas themed photos going. Last year I made a heap of Christmas themed photos with Christmas lights and stuff, so I'm going to upload the rest of those that I couldn't be bothered uploading last year. And hopefully this Christmas my sales won't drop like they normally do, because usually I don't like uploading Christmas themed content. But that's it. That's what I've been up to. I hope you guys had a good August. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. All the best. Bye.
Sometimes dream about you all the time, and in my dreams you make me feel alive.